Okay, we are live on, there's our light. We are live on 15 out of 15 channels. There goes the Bud Holder channel on YouTube, giving me a notification. So we are on the Bud Holder channel. At least we're notified that we're live on the Bud Holder. Hey, Josh. Good. Yeah, it's good. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Hippie chick. Sean, what's up, buddy? Oh, there's the Bong Rip channel. There it is, the notification. Wishing you a wonderful, happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Thank you, yes. I appreciate that so much. Jennifer, Matt, Bills, thank. You're welcome. Jennifer, Matt, Bills, you're a mom. Happy Mother's Day. My ding dings, time for a show. Docky Hollandaise, Mike Elliott. Mike Elliott. What's up, Mike? Thank you. You're welcome, hippie chick. That is one, Mother's Day is one holiday that I do celebrate. For all the moms out there. And all the dads that are single dads that might not have a mom. You guys too, man. You know, if you're taking care of a child on your own, if you've raised kids on your own without the mom present, then happy Mother's Day to you too, dads. Let's go ahead and let's refresh the chat. Happy Mother's Day. Jennifer, thank you, Jennifer, Matt, Bills. It's so nice of you to say. I will tell her that you said that. Thank you. It's very nice of you to think of my mom. I was on a live and told my peeps about your show. We should be getting some new people in here. Okay, Doc. All right, man. Wow. Thank you. A little cross promotion there. Yeah, a little cross promoting here. What about single cat dads? Sean, happy Mother's Day, bro. That's awesome of you to include single fathers too. Many don't. We appreciate it. Yeah, man, you know. I know. Dads are cool too, man. I'm both a mommy and a daddy to my doggy and my kitty cat, you know. Yes, sir, cross promotions. Yes, sir, cross promoting. Yes, it's a very fine thing. Yes, indeed. So you guys ready for story time? You guys want to know why we're at war? I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? In 2013, there was a French reporter, and he had heard that they were telling ethnic Russians in Ukraine that they were no longer allowed to speak Russian. Okay? This was in 2013. And in 2014, they went to where these ethnic Russians lived in Ukraine, right? Because the Ukrainians, the Russian ethnic Russians that were there in Ukraine, were protesting the fact that Ukraine was banning the Russian language from them, that they were no longer allowed to speak Russian. Do you guys know about this? Anybody know this story? I see we've already lost some viewers. Some people don't want the truth this morning, huh? It's a little too rough to hear the truth in the morning. You know, don't growl. That's rude, Rogan. You be nice when you're begging for food. You guys ready for some truth this morning? It's not going to be a pretty picture that I paid for you. And some of you might actually feel a little guilty for supporting this war once you find out why we're in it. And maybe that's why you're going to leave this broadcast, because you don't want to hear the truth. Well, if you're flying a little yellow and blue Ukrainian flag on your social media accounts, you might want to hear this story about what Ukraine did to ethnic Russians back in 2014 and all the way up until recently, what they've been doing to ethnic Russians in Ukraine. Before you go jumping on that yellow and blue bandwagon, you might want to get the whole story. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's kind of like this. People were mad at Mike Tyson for headbutting Holyfield during that boxing match. But I watched the boxing match. Just like this French reporter went to Ukraine, I watched the match. And I saw Holyfield headbutting Mike Tyson repeatedly in that fight. So if you had known that, you'd blame Mike Tyson for biting that guy's ear off. Which, by the way, he deserved to have his ear bitten off. It's the exact same scenario. No one saw Ukraine headbutting the ethnic Russians. All they see with their little tunnel vision, all they see is Russia's reaction to that. You know, all they see is Russia biting Ukraine's ear off. Oh, they bit their ear off. That's horrible. Why would you do such horrible behavior? Well, maybe they were getting headbutted repeatedly. Does that make sense to you guys? That's exactly what's going on here. And a lot of you don't know the whole story. And I'm not going to give it to you. I'm going to let you hear it from the French reporter. Okay? I'm going to let you see what they did, and I'm going to just tell you one other thing. When those Russians were protesting in Ukraine, good morning, Iceman. When those Russians were protesting that they were banned from speaking Russian in public. They were protesting. A busload of Ukrainians showed up and started beating them in the street. And these people ran into a building. It was a government building for protection, like 50 of them that were protesting. And these Ukrainians, these pieces of human garbage, set the building on fire while those ethnic Russians were in that building. Is this starting to sound familiar to you all? This is Donbass 2013, 2014. Is this starting to sound familiar to you? This is that story that everyone just so quickly and quietly forgets about. They set the building on fire, and those people were burning alive in there. And anybody that came out of that building was beaten to death in the street, and it's on video. I watched the video this morning. It's fucking sickening what the Ukrainians did to the ethnic Russians. So let me tell you something. When you see Russia biting the ear off of Ukraine, don't be so quick to judge until you get the whole story. You might want to get the backstory on that. Okay? All of you mainstream media watchers that don't listen to the internet and don't listen to other reporters from other parts of the world. You don't listen to Russian television. You don't listen to Lee Camp. You don't listen to Jackson Hinkle. You might want to research it on your own since you're too lazy to go watch these people yourselves. Oh, yeah, I see some people have left. That's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go keep waving your little yellow and blue flags and stay in denial. Some of us know the truth. And to me, the truth is more important than your narrative. You believe it's a war crime on Ukraine's part? They weren't at war, bro. It was just a crime. There was no war. They just decided to murder 50 people. And they just decided to tell an entire population of Russians that you're not allowed to speak your native language. You know, let's say there's a bunch of ethnic Americans living in Mexico. You know, let's say in Tijuana. And all of a sudden the Mexican government says, hey, you know what? You're not allowed to speak English anymore. And anybody heard speaking English, we're going to put you in prison. So, you know, the Americans get together and they have a protest. So a bunch of Mexican people show up in a bus and start beating them down and killing them. So they all go into a building and the Mexicans set the Americans on fire. And then as they come out of the building, they beat them to death out in the street. How would that make you feel, America? Huh? Not too good, would it? Well, that's the story. And if that story, if it's flipped around on Americans and Mexicans and you don't like the way that sounded for you, well, then maybe you should familiarize yourself with what happened in Ukraine back in 2013, 2014. Look, I don't know anything that I'm saying. All I'm saying is I've got a video that you guys should watch where the people from Donbass were interviewed while they were running for their lives from the shelling and from these Nazis that were coming in and murdering them and setting them on fire and kicking their children out of school and not allowing them to speak Russian in 2014. Just I don't know. Just maybe a good idea. You know, just a little tip. So I only got 17 minutes into the documentary, 18 minutes into the documentary. But it was the last 2 minutes of it that explained what happened. And I just want you to see what happened. And there's a lot more before it. But what happened here was what started this war. And that's all you need to know. All you need to know is that Vladimir Putin said, you can't take a bunch of Russian people, tell them they can't speak Russian because they live in your country, and then burn them alive and beat them in the streets. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move my military in your border, and then I'm going to take over your country, and I'm going to murder a whole bunch of you. And we're going to see how you guys like it. That's what Putin did. I'm repeating Trump. He told Zelensky on camera his country is full of corruption. Yeah, Trump also said our country is full of criminals and war criminals and corruption too. I mean, Trump said a lot of shit. It doesn't matter what he said. He's constantly talking. At some point, you know, our narratives are going to crisscross. It doesn't matter. It's not even a valid point, Billy. I don't know what your point was of comparing me to Donald Trump, but I got to say, a little distracting. I don't really like it that much. I don't know why you'd compare me to Trump. Hey, Jimin, what's up? I want you guys to watch this video, okay? This is the truth. These videos were made years ago, okay? And we ignored this. Everybody ignored this. Nobody wanted to talk about it. We had other things to worry about. You know, gender issues, you know, abortion rights. Okay, I was waiting for a reason to turn you off again. Great, turn me off again. Great, bye. Fuck off. How about that? How's that for a good reason, Billy? Go fuck yourself. How about that? Waiting for a reason to turn me off. You're fucking trolling me. Fuck you. Now, what you're looking at here are a bunch of Ukrainians running to burn the ethnic Russians to death. That's what's going on in this video, just so you know. And since Billy doesn't appreciate me telling you this story, he can go get his information somewhere else as far as I'm concerned. Hey, J-Bone. You guys might want to smoke along for this one. It's kind of rough to watch. But, you know, it's the truth. So welcome to the truth. Some of you don't want the truth. Well, here it is. Cheers.
Рядом находился лагерь русскоязычных, тех, кто протестовал против запрета русского языка. Просто украинские нацисты автобусами приехали разогнать русских активистов. И все, кто там были, даже женщины, кто хотел спрятаться, просто бежали там, в дом для защиты. Никто не ожидал, что так просто возьмут и подпалят. Пытаясь спастись эту гарну, чтобы не гореть, люди выпрыгивали. Их просто так растаскивали, били, избивали, насилие. Смотря кто бывал, такие, может, даже помогали. В основном люди в масках избивали до смерти. Кто эти люди в масках? Наверное, правый сектор. Почему национальная гвардия не...
Watch this. Why did police stop them?
Помешала правому сектору. Простой солдат.
Because nobody in the Ukrainian leadership thought to tell the soldiers to put an end to the violence. They said, just stand there and let it happen. The Ukrainian leadership, yeah, just so you know. You might be like, well, that was just a wild mob of wild Ukrainians. That, you know, they don't speak for the whole country. Well, the military showed up and let it continue. You liked it better when I said, fuck you, booted to the trolls and kicked them, good old days. Yeah. We're citizens doing to them as well. It's a bit hard to tell, but I'm trying to follow along. We're citizens. Yeah, citizens. Yes, Ukrainian citizens were. Yeah, so when you're so quick to cry for the Ukrainian people, the people of Ukraine, watch this video and see what the Ukrainians did to some Russians before any of this ever happened, years ago. What was this, 8 years ago?
Сказали просто стоять между и все. И почему они так делали? Ну, хотели как бы истребить, мне кажется, русское население. Потому что им не понравилось, что русские активисты там вышли на какой-то... И сколько погибших было здесь? Около 50 человек. арестовали лидеров, виновных в этом происшествии. Поступали какие-то приказы из Киева, вешали их, отпускали просто. Ничего не виноват. Так вот, все это, в принципе, происходило. Потому что я как всю жизнь прожил
Artie, what about Hunter
в
Biden?
области, мой родной край.
What's that got to do with anything?
Посылать на родную землю, я не мог просто пойти убивать своих братьев, сестер, родных, близких. Мне как Донецкий край родной подух, я сам сюда.
So this guy right here, in case you're wondering, this is one of those soldiers that was there that day. He was a Ukrainian soldier, and he's outing them for what they did. He's like a whistleblower, you know, like Julian Assange. They're fine. They're having fun. Yes, they are. They're just playing, Mom. They do it all the time. The cat's fine. He's got his little timeout space. Sorry about that. This is a soldier that was there. This is being interviewed by that French reporter. He was there. And they've got the video of it. I mean, it's not like he's making shit up. You can literally just watch it unfold on video. Literally, all of it's on video. You know, the mainstream media here in the United States doesn't want to play it on TV, though. You're not going to see this footage anywhere in the United States on mainstream media. They're not going to tell you why we're really there. Oh, Ukraine and the Bidens were deep during this period of time. Well, yeah, so what do you want? Artie, well, what's your point? I mean, what's your point? Exactly. Make your fucking point. You know, if I remember correctly, Donald Trump was doing business deals with Zelensky, too, while Donald Trump was president of the United States. You know, they were talking on the phone. Well, what's your point? Exactly, Artie. What's your point? What does that have to do? Jinmin, thank you. Everybody's wishing you happy Mother's Day, Mom. Thank you. She said thank you. Several of you have. Thank you guys for that. Yeah, it's whack, I understand, but it's got nothing to do with what we're talking about, Artie. Do you understand? Why is it so hard for you to stay on track with what the conversation is my point. I'm literally telling you what started this war, and you're talking about Biden and the laptop, that they were deep with Ukraine. Who cares? What's that got to do with anything? Did Hunter Biden send those people there to kill those Russians? Is that what you're saying? I mean, if you've got some information that relates what you said to my story, well, then let me have it. You know, get to the point. Otherwise, you're wasting my time, like Billy was before. You know, when I'm making points, the last thing I need are people coming in here subverting my message. So get to the point or STFU, okay? Wondering if it was part of the war? Well, I don't know, bro. I have no... I don't think so. I think that, you know, the Bidens were probably interested in the Ukraine over oil or resources or something like that. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just doing this. My point is this. It's got nothing to do with what we're talking about. Okay, can we move on? Can we talk about what started the war and stop talking about your fucking Joe Biden little fantasy that you're having? You're trying to tie Joe Biden starting the Ukrainian Donbass bullshit? Is that what you're trying to say? Okay, fine. Have it your way. How about that? Somehow, this laptop and Hunter and Joe Biden were involved in getting the people of Donbass, you know, murdered and set on fire. Whatever. As soon as the Ukrainian government sent those troops in there and told them not to do anything, they were complicit in that crime. And that was a mass murder, man. They killed 50 people. 50 ethnic Russians were murdered that day. And if, in a violent way, you know, and they were being persecuted for being Russian, they were being persecuted for speaking Russian. That was their crime. And their children were being bullied at school because they were Russian. It's hard to hear, isn't it? It's hard to listen to. Welcome to the war, folks. Now you know who the real bad guys are. You know,
решился.
The ones you're cheering for. The ones you're putting your little yellow and blue flags all over social media over. Yeah. That's why you're going to stop watching me right now, I bet. Because you probably got one of those little yellow and blue flags on your avatar on some social media. Good for you. What a proud American you should feel like.
Чайный шаг, что я лучше погибну здесь среди своих близких, чем...
You know, someone tweeted this morning, and I got such a kick out of it. They said, you know, it's going to be just like Iraq. Eventually, we found out there were no weapons of mass destruction and that it was a whole lie, and we killed 1 million Iraqis over a lie. We went in there, we killed Saddam Hussein, we killed 1 million Iraqis, and he didn't even do 9/11. He didn't fund it, he had nothing to do with it. We just wanted to go kill some folks and spend some war capital that we've built up. They said, what happened in Iraq is going to happen in Ukraine, and in 2 years, when all the truth finally comes out, dude, you don't have to wait 2 years for the truth. I'm telling it to you right now. That's what's hilarious. People aren't ready for the truth yet. They want to keep waving that American flag around, man. Because it's so important to them to keep doing war against innocent people. So just remember what started it. Follow the history, okay? Look it up. The video is out there. This is about the end of it. This is about the end of it too, right here.
Своих же. Не смог просто. И поэтому я избежал.
That's why he deserted the Ukrainian army.
Украинских военных.
Because he couldn't kill fellow Ukrainians just because they spoke Russian. You understand that? Now there is video on here of an interview that they did, and boy, man, it's tough. There's a whole group of ethnic Russians that are basically meeting in secret and meeting this here. They're meeting this reporter, and they're telling the stories about what happened to them in Donbass. This French woman who came to film what's happening because no one knows what we're going through and they don't believe that this is happening. But they're really going to show it. They will show it. The people who are going to show it. We will see. We will see how all of it. We will show. Believe us. Look at the kids. How long have you lived here? When they bomb, we all shake. These children have been locked up since the summer with their families. And now we can't go out of the area. We have left. We've come back and we don't know where to live. The children have not seen the sun all summer. There's no sun here. Look at these children. Are they terrorists? What kind of country is this where they kill their own citizens? Children, old people, what kind of country is this? What a president who differentiates between children. Children are not guilty. Children from the West will go to school, those from the East to the cellars. Again, if it was an enemy from outside. But here it is brother against brother. Since the beginning of this war, families are divided. They bomb, children are killed, houses are destroyed. How are we going to rebuild all that? The granny is choking. She has to go to the hospital. That's not possible. The whole world stood up to you when 12 people were killed. And when thousands of people are killed in our country, nobody moves. They ended up killing 14,000 of them. My husband died in that shelter. They think we're not human. Thank you, Cannabis Heals. Thank you. Thank you, Cannabis Heals. Where's my chat? Oh, there's my chat. They're showing the devastation in Donbass right here. There's literally just the whole street is leveled. There's a dude, this dude right here is sleeping under this bench because these people, their homes have been destroyed. And there's a person that's out in the street bleeding right here, and they're waiting for an ambulance, and there's no ambulance. So that's what was going on in 2014 in Donbass in Ukraine. And like I said, no one here wanted to cover it because this was happening to Russians. And, you know, Russia, 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 Rachel Maddow, we hate Russians. Oh, Vladimir Putin, Russia, Russia, Russia. Oh, Russia, 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 Russia. Hillary Clinton, Russia, 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 Russia. Russia hacked our election. Oh, Russia, they're the horrible, they're the worst people ever. Russia, 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 Russia. For years, we had to hear that. Russia, 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 Russia. This is what was happening to Russians while they were saying Russia, Russia, Russia. This is what the Ukrainians were doing to the Russians. This woman lost all but one of her children. Rachel Maddow, Russia, Russia, Russia. She's such a great reporter. Russia, Russia, Russia. People tried to give blood, but her daughter died anyway. Son's head was blown off. This is the one that survived. I don't know what a prom is. I don't know what a prom is, but she says it was completely devastating, whatever it was. You know, that's just an anecdotal interview, then they did plenty of them. And Lee Camp, Jackson Hinkle have been exposing this war for ever since it started. And I know a lot of people probably felt uncomfortable listening to them, but you know what? Now you're going to have to listen to me talking about it, and you're going to be hearing more and more and more and more people speaking about it. And eventually it's going to become just like Iraq, where everyone's like, oh, they were just lying. They just lied about weapons of mass destruction. Oh, okay, they just wanted to have war. So, you know, they just told you lies about Ukraine and Russia, and you don't know the truth. Well, now you do. So now you don't have an excuse. No more yellow and blue for you, huh? It's crazy once you know the truth, how it changes things, isn't it? You'll be on Twitter retweeting people with those stupid yellow and blue flags. You're like, oh, wait a minute. Now when you see that yellow and blue flag, you're going to think about people that just burned people alive because they weren't speaking their language. Happy yellow and blue to you too. Only if you let it, hippie chick. They're the best propaganda machine only if you allow them to infect your brain through this mainstream media bullshit. My visa. It's never going to stop. War is big money. Oh no, Dominic, it's going to stop. Do you see all these people are on the street protesting abortion right now? You guys know about this? Yeah, oh yeah, there's protests breaking out all over the United States right now. And I have a feeling that people who are anti-war are going to join in with the people who are pro-abortion, that are out in the streets. And what's crazy is there's a lot of anti-abortion people that are protesting in the streets right now too. Who knows what's going to happen? But man, I don't think that the United States is going to be able to keep feeding money into the bullshit war You know, the proxy war against Russia, which isn't even a proxy war anymore. It's straight war now. It's United States versus Russia, and we're just shitting all over Ukraine while we do it. We're not going to have the resources to continue that, because what's about to happen in the streets here? We've got the pandemic on top of all of that. We're going to have people out in the streets. We're going to have, who knows, man? Who knows? This, not just abortion, Jinmin, and it should be about abortion. I mean, I know you live in Texas, bro. I don't know how you feel about that. But regardless of how you feel about it, there should be protests over it. And so much more. Our rights being taken away, our you know, them telling us that you're no longer allowed to have a voice. You're not allowed to say certain things. Certain news agencies are being shut down because they're affiliated somehow with Russia. You know, Lee Camp is being silenced. Pandemic trademark. I kind of like that. Civil unrest over abortion. My opinion has been turned completely upside down. Thanks, Nate, for telling the truth. Sean, why aren't you watching Jackson Hinkle? Sean, why aren't you watching Lee Camp? I don't understand why your opinion would be dead on if you would just watch those two guys. There should be a choice. Sup, gang, slept in. You know, wherever you're getting your bullshit from, stop watching that bullshit and start watching Jackson Hinkle and Lee Camp. I can't stress this enough. You want to really find out what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, you need to pay attention to those two guys. Roe versus Wade decision will also cause riots in the streets again. Hippie chick, it's so funny to talk to you. I just literally told you that they are protesting all over the United States. People on the right wing are already calling them riots. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some property damage happening. I haven't seen it myself, but I'm not denying that it's happening. I just haven't seen it myself yet. But this is what I just told you. Why are you repeating what I just said? You're just asking me the question of what I just told you is going on. I told you there's protests all over the United States right now. And I only hope that they grow, man. And I hope that it hinders the government in its war effort. That would be my whole reason right now for protesting, really, is to just stop them from feeding our money into a fucking war which was started over burning people alive for speaking Russian. And that's what we're going to send money to. $1 trillion venture after Russia annexes Crimea. The game is on Exxon makes a deal with Russia from there. Trump, as soon as being Secretary of State gets his options, he steps down in the embarrassment of Trump. Oh, dude. Resources. Drill from their well before your own. Chris Irvin. It's a $4 trillion venture. You're not being explicit, bro. I mean, were you talking about the gas line? Are you talking about the Nord Stream 2 pipeline? I was on delay, sorry. Hippie chick. What is crazy to, that's okay, hippie chick, don't cry. I didn't know you were on a delay. What is crazy to me is that these clowns take tax dollars to do nothing but kill people. Me too. Drink from their neighbor's well. Chris Irvin. They say 000, we are helping, but it's a lie. I gotta tell you guys, man, it's so blatant and it's so like right in our faces. And you know, someone like Sean Trendy Orca is like, oh, I was totally supporting Ukraine or whatever. This is how they can do it. because of people like Trendy Orca, who will literally just not research the story when the resources are right there in your hand. Man, where's my cell phone for effect? I don't know what my phone is. They're right in your hand. The resources are there. Listen to Lee Camp. Listen to Jackson Hinkle. Dude, they're not right 100% about everything, but they're right about everything like 99.9% of the time. So what are you waiting for? Go subscribe to them. Watch their videos, man. Enlighten yourselves. You think Lee Camp just wants to lie to you all day? Do you think Jackson Hinkle just wants to lie to you? You know, there was a time when I was watching Jackson Hinkle and I was like, dude, is he getting paid by somebody that's like a Russian sympathizer? No, he just knows the truth, man. And it's hard to listen to. It was hard for me to listen to. But I made myself listen to it because I was really curious. I'll be right back. I was really curious about it. Hi. Yes, yes. Hi, who's here, Rogie? Rogie, look. Rogie. You want cookie, Rogie? You want cookie? All right, let me go up and refresh what you guys were saying. Yes, yes, dealer drill. It's going to get ugly on the streets of America. Exercise your rights, but be prepared to defend yourself and loved ones because people are fixing to lose their minds over Roe v. Wade and any other issues. Douglas, we have an obligation to do even more than send arms because we promised to defend them if they gave up their nukes. Yeah, we don't have to do anything. Douglas, don't kid yourself, bro. They burned people alive for speaking Russian back in 2014. The government sent troops into that scene and told them to stand by and let them beat and burn people to death for speaking Russian. Douglas, all bets are off after that point. You lost all your privileges at that point. You know what? Sorry, Ukraine, no more money for you. Yeah, I remember how people lost their lives for the rights of what they are protesting over. We cannot forget the past so it doesn't happen again. Dom, what's up? Dude, Dominic, that's, what's his name? From the Addams Family? Oh, Morticia. Oh, Morticia. What was his name? The husband? Was it the Addams Family?
Yes, Morticia and
Gomez.
Gomez.
That's your avatar, dude. I love it. Bro, you're freaking Gomez? Gomez? A treaty is a treaty. Douglas, they burned people alive. You know, a treaty, and I don't even know what treaty you're talking about.
Okay.
You know, are you saying that Ukraine promised not to have nukes, so we have to give them weapons? That's not why Biden is giving them millions of dollars of weapons and sometimes billions of dollars of support. It's got nothing to do with the treaty, man. It's got everything to do with the fact that we're in a proxy war with Russia right now, and we're using Ukraine as our playground. It's our battleground. So we don't have to destroy Chicago while we're fighting Russia, you know? And Russia doesn't have to destroy, you know, the Kremlin, because I can't think of a single city in Russia right now. We've got my sister's dog is here, so we're just making sure the dogs are getting along. Hey, Rogie, what's up, bees? What's up, bees? Sad. My friend is like, oh, we need to kill all them. And me and him went back and forth because he did not know the whole story. People just show them this video. Just show them this video. I'll give you a link to the video. It's called Donbass, 8 Years of War, documentary by French journalist Anne-Laurie Bonnell. It's from 2016. My bad. The documentary was done in 2016. My bad. I thought it was earlier. I thought the documentary was done in 2014, but it was 2016. Okay, there is a link to Doug Benson, Lowell. Doug loves movies. Benson, how wild would that be? What? Douglas Benson. Yeah, I don't even know what treaty he's referring to, but there's no way that treaty stated that we'd be sending the amount and scale of weapons that we are sending now to them. You know, there's no way. These are definitely afterthoughts that we are doing just to support this war, not part of any treaty. And I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who you are, and you never came back and answered. Trina, you don't watch my show that often, do you? Trina Levon, you don't watch my show that often. Cannabis, thank you, sir. Save the link. Yeah, save it, share it around. You know, tweet that link to Jackson Hinkle. Tweet that link to Lee Camp. Tweet that link to Jimmy Dore. Tweet that link to anybody who's telling the truth about what's going on with Russia right now. You know? You know? I just tweeted it. You guys can like it and retweet it all you want. Ooh, wow, I almost smashed this coffee cup into my Ceramicin. Ooh, my new word. I used my new word. I'm so excited. Ceramicin. I made up a word. Ceramicin. Which almost all of them are. So why don't they just call them Ceramicins? You got your new friend. You got your new friend. They get along. The dogs get along. It's so nice. Guys, got any big dinner plans or anything? Celebrate any other cheers. Who knows? I don't know what we're going to do. We like to just hang out. We usually will just order some food in, you know, and hang out here. And, you know, with the pandemic now, that's what I recommend everybody does, is celebrate at home, you know, get some food, pick it up, stay home, don't expose yourselves to this pandemic. Try to stay out of it as much as you can. My sister just got over COVID. Hey, one of you guys liked my tweet, and 2 of you guys retweeted it, and I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you guys for going on Twitter and doing that. Thank you. Yes. Retweeted at Lee Camp, retweeted at Jackson Hinkle, retweeted at Jimmy Dore, retweeted at Kurt Metzger on the Jimmy Dore Show. You know, retweeted at people with huge audiences that tell the truth about what's going on over there. I can't even walk since Thursday. Oh, Nick, I'm sorry, buddy. Holy shit. Well, she's fine now. She's healed up. Nothing to be sorry about at all. She's great. It was just for her, it was nothing. Digging the shirt, the Sheath shirt. Yeah, it's my other shirt that I got. You guys like it? My Sheath shirt. Right now, you guys, I give you a 40% discount when you go to sheathunderwear.com, which I got my new ones on. I show them to you, and they're great. I'll just tell it to you like this. They're kind of like this, but they're in green. They're green. They look like straight camo. They're badass. Ass. That's funny. So, I'll get you a 40% discount anytime with that the checkout code NAVESGuard. But if you want some Sheath underwear, any order, you want to get 55% off right now, Warehouse55 at sheathunderwear.com will give you 55% off your order. That's 15% more off your order than I can get you normally. So if you've been thinking about getting a pair of Sheath underwear and you're like, a little too expensive for me, now you can get one at 55% off. More than half price. And I'm telling you, man, I'm all loaded up on Sheath underwear now, man. My mom was like, you got a lot of those. I'm like, they make me happy. She's like, well, I'm glad they make you happy. I'm like, that's what it's all about. That makes me happy. You know, I feel sexy. I feel, I feel more confident. It's nice. I love all the stories you share between you two. Would be cool to maybe see her on the show one day, my sister. Yeah, no. I can't root for either side of this conflict since both sides fucking suck. You don't have to root for them, dude. This is the problem, Sean. You're thinking the wrong direction, okay? You don't root for anybody when they're at war. This is what sports has taught you. Oh, I need to pick a side. We gotta win. Woo! Stop. Sean, stop. Stop trying to pick a side, bro. I told you, watch Lee Camp. He's anti-war. You don't have to pick a side, bro. You can be against the whole thing, man. Did I just blow your little whale brain all over the ocean, bro? And now all the sharks are coming to eat up all that brain matter? Right out your blowhole, bro. For the best in ball support I have ever had on my ass. I love my Sheath underwears. What can I say, man? I love my Sheath underwear. And if I ever have to go, swimming with friends or whatever, I don't mind taking my jeans off and having just my Sheath underwears on and going around in those. Those are fine. They're great. And they're cool looking. But, I mean, if I had to, is what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't go around in my sheets, just so you all know. I've never been in public, just so you guys know. But if I had to, an emergency or something happened, or my jeans caught on fire, that'd be okay if I was just in my sheets. What an endorsement for that product, huh? Let's smoke to that. Hey, Sheath Underwear, this is for you, because they support cannabis too, guys. Sheathunderwear.com supports cannabis, and they support the show. So, cheers. Cheers to them. On Giant Orca Dick. I hope the sharks choke on Giant Orca Dick too, man. Well said. Remember what I told you, Sean. You watch Lee Camp and you watch Jackson Hinkle from now on. I want you to subscribe to both of them. Just you. I don't care about anybody else in the audience. Just you, Sean. You need to watch Lee Camp. You need to watch Jackson Hinkle, okay? Just start watching them. You don't have to watch them all the time. Just tune in from time to time, like you do for this show. Cheers. Well, I bought some that were a small pair, and I haven't tried them on yet, so I don't know. The mediums fit me fine. Both sides of this conversation. Right on, Orca. I got sidetracked with this great conversation this morning. I think we need to step up our smoking game, guys. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a little Florida-grown OG Kush from Big Jim Frankie Fire via Iceman. But I'm just saying, it might be time to do a dab. I was watching one of my favorite shows, again, last night, Broad City. I love that show. Broad City, I love it. And there was a point when I'd stopped watching Broad City and I was watching The Office. Like I'd switched over, like I was turning on the TV or turning it off or something, and The Office came on. I started watching that for a couple minutes. And there's this scene where Michael, the boss of The Office, right? His ex-girlfriend at this point in the series was the blonde-haired executive woman from the main headquarters that he was dating like for a whole season or maybe more. And she came back because Michael thought he caught herpes. So he was contacting, this was hilarious. He was contacting all of his ex-girlfriends and saying, you might have herpes, blah, blah, blah. There's a point where that girlfriend comes in and she has her daughter. She's got a little daughter with her now. And the daughter comes in like she's coming from school. And so that woman starts singing to her daughter, "How was school? What did you learn? Did you color? Did you read?" And she's like singing this operatic, like, just like what you would ask, the questions you'd ask a child when they come home from school. And it is the cringiest moment in all television history, I think. It is so cringy. It is so hard to watch. I literally had to look away. I was like, oh my God, that is just, they're good. That's hilarious. It was funny. It was supposed to be cringy. But it was just so cringe. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Has anybody seen that scene? Has anybody seen that part in The Office where she's singing to her daughter? That's a good one. You know it. Josh G knows that episode. Show were genius. Such great comedy. Dude, they're hilarious. There's a lot of great comedy out there. I mean, God, there's a lot of great comedy out there. It's just, you know, there's so much great comedy and there's no reason to copy. And that's why it's so disgusting. I'm so disgusted by comedians who copy other comedians and they try to push off jokes that they've heard from other comedians as their own. Amy Schumer, that guy, Mencia, Carlos Mencia. I just hate joke thieves. There's nothing I hate more than a fucking joke thief. You know, there's plenty of things to make jokes about. How about the fact that you're a fucking joke thief? We could just fucking make jokes about you because you're a fucking joke thief, and that in itself is material. I could riff on that all freaking night. I could do a whole set on joke thieves. You know, what are you lacking in? Were you lacking in something when you were a child? Well, tell us what it is. Instead of stealing somebody's jokes, why don't you just tell us what your little childhood problems were that you have to steal people's jokes, and we'll laugh at that instead. How about that? And, you know, I'm watching Ellen. My mom's got Ellen on the other day, and she brings on Amy Schumer. And I'm like, oh, I fucking hate Amy Schumer. I got up to walk away. And my mom's like, why? And I said, because she's a joke thief. And she's like, what? You know, I hate when people steal songs. You know, Eddie Vedder is notorious for it. You know, he'll hear, you know, a Led Zeppelin song, and then Pearl Jam would write a song that was almost the same damn song, and then Eddie Vedder just changes the lyrics up a little bit, and they change the guitar up just a little bit, and it's no longer Going to California. Now it's a Pearl Jam song. You know? I don't like that shit. And, you know, he tries to brag about it like, yeah, we're just, you know, paying tribute. No, you're just being lazy. That's why you got so many fucking albums. Because half your shit was copped. That cuck Mencia for sure. Josh, I know. Is this just the Josh G Trendy Nay show, everybody? I guess it is. I don't have a problem with that. I have no problem with that. Ellen and Schumer. You know, Ellen DeGeneres, I don't have as much of a problem with. I mean, I hate her. But she's not a joke thief to me. I think she resorts to stupid humor sometimes for a lack of anything better to offer. But I don't hold that against her so much. Rogi's like, what? What's up? Rogi's like, I'm in the pack. What's up? What are we barking at? Rogan's like, oh, man, that's so cool. He's like, what, are you barking at somebody? He's on guard now. This little puppy came over here. I got Rogi all excited. It's great. Rogi, it's okay, buddy. I just got another retweet on my Donbass 8 Years of War. Whoever just did that, you are the salt of my earth. Whoever is on Twitter right now retweeting, feel free to like it too, but whoever is retweeting that like crazy, thank you. You know, now one of those retweets went away. It went from 4 to 3 for some. I wonder why that was. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to retweet it myself. I'm going to tweet it at Lee Camp. eCamp. I'm gonna tweet it at eCamp. You know, Twitter's so stupid that if you put eCamp, it can't even figure out to put Lee Camp up there. It put all things that started with E. And Jackson. Lee Camp, Jackson Hinkle. You know, who's telling the truth about Ukraine? Can you guys help me here? On which, I'm sure Jimmy Dore is too. Yeah, Jimmy Dore. Poor dog, hey. Who else is telling the truth about Ukraine right now? About why we're there? It shows it went up and then back down. That's cool. I'm about to retweet it. Poor dog, hello. Can you guys tell me if there's anyone else I should include in this tweet. Anybody on YouTube that's speaking about the reality and what's going on in Ukraine. I'm drawing a blank right now. I know there's a lot of people. I'm just drawing a blank. So I got Lee Camp, Jacksonville, and Jimmy Dore. I'm just trying to think, I know a bunch of other podcasters. I'm trying to remember one that's been talking about this and saying, hey, what about what happened in Donbass? And let's talk about how that went down. And how long it's been going on for. That they've been shelling those people out of their homes ever since. And the government's been conveniently looking the other way, or ordering it. I like the music. Psycho music. I don't know what that was. But I liked it. Okay, nobody has a single one. I'm just going to go ahead and retweet it then, since nobody has a single one. That's cool. Because I didn't either. I didn't either. I was just drawing a blank. But those three guys are telling the truth about what's going on over there. So, no, it's okay, bees. It's okay. Boy, Brogan. Were we gonna do a dabby dab? Are we gonna dab? This is gonna dab. You guys not calling me on my bullshit? Are you even hello? Are you still here? People, are we live? Dropped 0 frames, so yes, we are live. I like using this software instead of the StreamYard because I can tell if I've dropped frames or not from my source, at least. I know we're live right now, so that's good. I don't know why nobody's chatting. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Randy. Thank you. I was wondering. I was wondering if the chat was working. Oh, that is a perfect size dab right there. We are going to enjoy this. C3PO. Now, I guess my igniter went out. Oh, maybe not. Beautiful. It was just a little overworked yesterday, I guess, if that's a thing. I'm late, but here. Poor dog, I really appreciate that you're here. Look at the fire. All the oil that's burning off in there. I love watching the char burn off of this bucket. Look at the heat coming off the bucket. How about you now? I was driving down the highway, feeling good, headed to my neighborhood, wondering if I shouldn't or should stop along at the local store. Beezy's trying to play with the dog. Are you trying to play with that puppy, Rogie? And that puppy ain't having it. Dude, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Giant orca flipper pimp slap to everyone in the chat. That is a big pimp slap from an orca fin, bro. You know it. That's like a whap, 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 whap. Daphne Hollandaise. Good morning. She said nazy. All right, so yeah, 8 years. It's been going on for 8 years. So it never ended there in Donbass, I guess. Let me see if you can still see the heat coming off. No. We're good. Cheers, guys. This is going to taste great. Sunny Dubai. All right, let's re-adjourn here. And, later today at some point. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss any more of the podcast excitement from Nays Cooking. You guys take care.